Oh, no. What's going on? You snuck those gloves in here. Hey, everybody. Ready for some punching?
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe you did that to me.
What?
That's not fair.
Tonight's Trisbrina Show episode, we're going to get real.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to get down. We're going to get dirty.
We're going to throw punches.
No, but we're really going to talk about something that I think we can all relate to. It's when you have those little moments, those feuds, those fights, those people in your family that irritate you.
Boom, boom, boom. You're going down.
Or even with a friend. They're not fair. They're not telling the truth.
It's not right.
They're
How dare you?
taking the upper hand. They're twisting the truth. They're trying to look good. They're twisting the story. Everyone's believing them. You're looking like the bad guy and you're the good guy.
Oh, no, you didn't.
And maybe, maybe it's a business partner.
You're going down, man.
Maybe it's a situation that you invested a lot in, and somebody's putting you in the ring, and they're going, you know what? I changed my mind. You know, I said that stuff.
Said one thing, but I did another.
You believed me. Dumb on you.
What's that saying? Screw me once, shame on you. Screw me twice, shame on me. What? Not my fault. We're going to talk about responsibility today, too.
And by the way, if you're going to have these gloves, get them in pink.
That's right. If you're going to wear gloves, make sure they're pink. Pinky Tuscadero. All right, well, let's check in with our friends here. Hey, everybody. Lovely to be with you.
So if you're on our email list, you got a really funny image. And if you're not, and you're seeing this, and you're seeing it on Facebook, if you want to leave me a message underneath the video that says, I want to be on the email list and get the funny images, you can either private message us or email us or just write right there. Hey, send me, this is my email address. Let me know what's going on. And we'll be
Hi, Ruth. Hello, Ron. Great to be with you, buddy. Hi, Devin. Hi, Mary. Hi, everybody.
Yay!
Come on in. Well, we're going to be connecting throughout the session. We definitely want to know your thoughts on stuff like this. Sabrina set this up for you, and I think we all know what's going on. Does this look like we're...
So we've actually
good, right?
been blessed, and this is a part of what we're going to be talking about tonight. We've been blessed.
Don't worry. I'll figure it out.
Let me turn the volume on my big old phone down.
So we're dealing with, always, if you see us clicking and clacking around, we are playing broadcast station here with you.
Oh, look, I look tall because my chair's up so high.
You know what? I can go bigger.
No, then your head will be out.
Hi, Kim.
Anyway, we've been blessed with quite a few situations since we've been together, and of course before, and I'm sure you can relate, where you have these people, and maybe you care about them, or you've invested time, or you've invested money, and now there's sort of this family feud, or friendly feud, or business feud. And as a conscious being, right, as people who want to resolve conflicts in the most beautiful, loving way, and yet not be weak, and not be a weenie, and not just be the person that goes, okay, whatever you want, I'm a lover, just walk all over me.
Namaste,
that's a misunderstanding. And so it's a very beautiful ride, probably like surfing.
Yeah, sometimes you get bumped and thumped around, and sometimes it's smooth. You get in a tube, baby.
What did I say earlier? The real battle is within.
The real battle lies within.
Right? So the feud is always within in every situation, no matter what the catalyst is on the outside. And that's sort of what we're going to be diving into. If any of you have been in long-term relationships, right? Things are great, and then sometimes you go through periods that aren't so great. Or maybe it's just a little thing that your person does. I am talking about you. Actually, maybe there's things that person does that.
How can it not happen?
When you were hanging out with them at first, like, it was so cute the way they just don't see the dirty dishes. It was so cute.
Oh, that was cute.
And then it becomes like irritating. So a lot of times the things that at first we find cute, then later we find irritating, and it's how to deal with all of that and all those feelings and those voices and those little like little bitchings inside our heads.
The feud is always within, says Devin. Right on, sister. Hi, Diane. Diane is watching from work. She said, shh. Turn down the volume. Put your earbuds in.
This is work related. We're talking about business relationships.
All relationships. Yeah, this is a really juicy topic, seriously, because there's always going to be something in life where someone does something, and in your world, in your perspective, it was wrong. Mm-hmm. Now, in their world, I hope that they felt justified, right? It's very hard for a human being to not do something where they don't feel justified. Nobody's going around going, I'm going to get them back. Well, some people are like that, right? And they're the meanies.
Not many.
No.
And when we know that we're doing something that isn't beautiful and isn't aligned,
that's right,
we can twist and work the facts
we have to
fit, to justify.
So that we can do it.
Right. And to be able to look at ourselves when we're the ones warping and to be able to understand what the other person is doing and
that's
not
right,
take it personally, even though it feels really personal.
Well, let's talk about that because we all take things personally. I mean, that's what the sense of ego is, right? The sense of self is to protect us. And if it gets a little too far to the left or a little too far to the right, we're going to have a reaction. Now, a healthy sense of self is someone who can look at things eyes wide open and navigate life consciously. See, I think the ego got a really bad rap back in the day, especially in personal development. The ego was bad and it was evil, it was coming to get you and all of that. But the word ego alone, it just means sense of self. So, of course, we want to develop a healthy sense of self, have a healthy perspective. So when stuff shows up, we can handle it. We can deal with it even consciously, right? Meaning the healthy sense of self, in my estimation, gives you access to even that deeper place of unconditional love. But unconditional love doesn't mean that sometimes you don't have to smack down or step off the mat, if you will. I like to use martial arts terminology.
Put your pink gloves on.
Put your pink gloves on. Maybe say a couple of things just like, hey, that wasn't cool. Or you know what? I don't want to play this game with you. I'm moving over here. So,
I think actually in one of the previous episodes, we talked about how there's this beautiful quality of being the protector. And sometimes we are so beautiful stepping in to be the protector of those that we love and of the innocent. But we don't give ourselves that same gift, right? To be able to see yourself as the innocent and to be able to see yourself as the protector of the innocent, not as a victim, completely different. Not as the victim and not as the martyr, but it's okay when something happens that you say, hey, wait a minute. Is this right action? You said you were going to do this, A, but you're doing B, and now you say that we agreed on C, and all of that doesn't seem truthful. So that's like protecting. Let's look at the facts and see what it is. And when the other person attacks, to be able to protect yourself without being attached to the outcome. And I think that's the key.
They don't even attack sometimes. They just change the situation, change the truth, do something else that doesn't feel right, action.
Is this making sense to you guys?
We're going to tell you some stories, maybe one in particular, that will help for us to kind of get into the conversation at a realistic level. Now, we've had multiple situations like this in our lives. Obviously, we have our little pup over here. I wish I could show you. He's having a field day with the pillows over here.
It's I do not care for these 6 pillows on the sofa. I will remove them all.
I came out of the bedroom the other morning, and the doggy, I think it was Bentley or Winston does
Bentley.
it? Bentley had...
Well, who knows?
Every single pillow, we have a lot of pillows on our couch. Every single pillow had been knocked on the floor. It looked like somebody came and ransacked the house. Okay, to the story and the teaching or the lesson of the day. We have had multiple businesses and business relationships with people and partners. And in our industry, you do a lot of partnering with people, right? And so you have these opportunities to support each other. And sometimes in partnerships, as I bet many of you know, whether it is a relationship with, a significant other or a friend or a business relationship, it's uncomfortable when the partner does something that was against the agreed scenario, right? So we had somebody not long ago do something that was very, in our world, in our estimation, and if we told you all the details, you would agree with us, right? You'd be like, oh, that's so unfair. They said they were going to do this. They actually owed this thing to you, and yet they manipulated multiple times, and then you finally find out why they don't want to do it, and it has to do with fear at the end of the day. It's always some kind of fear,
jealousy,
whatever, that kind of stuff. So we had to process our reactions, and we had to own our reactions, and then we had to get a little bit enlightened. And the enlightening part about this is everything that happens, and this is a tough pill to swallow, I get it, but energetically, we're putting stuff out, and the universe is reflecting it back. Yep. And you've got to get to a point where you ask yourself, what did I do to create this? Or how did I play in this outcome? You want to feel empowered after you process it, right? Or as soon as possible. And so I've seen that there's three things that are going on.
Well, in the scenario that you just said, though, we made ourselves a little bit of the victim, right? What did I do to create this? We don't mean what did I do to create this bad situation? It may be, what am I asking for that caused this to happen in order for the bigger blessing to come?
Well, I love that you reframed that, because that's sometimes the perspective someone takes is, what did I do to create this? Yeah. Why am
I'm bad.
Why is this happening to me? What did I put out? And I don't think it's that way as you shift into one of these three options. You can look at your life and you can be putting things out that are going to make you feel great and are going to create the life you love. And I think the universe is listening, and the universe is saying one of three things to you. Yes.
Yes.
You got that. Yeah, here you go.
Totally, right now.
And it just happens, right? And then there's a yes, but not right now. There's a ripening.
There's a more perfect time.
Yeah, the timing isn't quite right. And then there's a no, because there's something else in store for you. And that's the one that we had to get to. No, not this. There's something else in store for you. However, and this is the part I want you to jump into, and it gets all juicy. It's hard to get to that one when you're doing this. You are wrong. You are doing this to me.
And you're not admitting it.
And now you start wrestling with all of that, and you block the flow of the universe, bringing to you the something better.
Totally.
So let's talk about that, because when it's just life, like a tree falls on your car, right? And you're like, okay, natural disaster. There's no one to wrestle with, right? Maybe the insurance company.
Right, you don't blame the tree.
There's no drama.
You don't blame the storm.
You might have some of your own emotional drama around, oh my God, my car, not my car.
And hopefully you don't think, what did I do that caused...
How did I cause a tree to... Right. But when it's with another human being, that's when we get all weird, because we start going into these fights and this friction and the friendly feud, as you say. So how do we process it?
Well, in the example that you said, there's a storm that causes a tree to fall on my car that causes X amount of damage. To me, my life is however I choose to see it. And however I choose to see it is going to determine as it continues to unfold. So if in that moment I'm able to be in a place that it's just, there was a storm and a tree fell on my car, and oh my gosh, I wonder who I'm going to get on the phone when I talk to the insurance company and what magic is going to happen. And when I take my car to the body shop, who is it that I'm going to meet there that maybe
in the
works
mystery
there,
of life?
or that's there at the same time, that's going to completely change the path of my life and give me exactly what I need
to
get what I want. Because if I'm living in a place that things work out for me and I'm always at the right place at the right time, and that everything that happens is a blessing, and that this is a universe of love, that I am completely loved, and everything that happens is a love that I do or do not understand at this moment, changes everything. It moves you into a place of excitement. And because if you can move into that place of excitement, it sort of sends out the vibration to receive that. It usually, it always happens. So in this case, with this situation with the business person, there was an agreement for something a while ago, like a year ago, and it was monetary. It was substantially monetary. And then they decided,
well, hold on. Can I add some things that make it even more frisky for me?
Frisky.
We canceled something to make this happen.
Oh, I'm not there yet.
Oh, well, then I'll just wait to get frisky. Keep going.
So there was a history that there was this monetary thing that didn't happen, like $8,000-ish. So it's like, okay, just let it go. We understand your circumstances and your side of the story. We'll just let it go, even though we did our half of the work. And then the person came and said, hey, let's make this right and move forward from here, and came up with another set of right actions. And then we put in work to make that happen. It was like, nah.
We did a lot.
So we could have had
a lot of work.
We could have brought the old garbage and said, look at all this crap you did. Or we could say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad this is happening right now.
I'd rather know now.
Because energetically it's not a match, and we're forcing something that isn't meant to be. And know something better.
Choice number 3.
Know something better.
Something better is
now.
coming.
Now, if you're in a situation with your partner, your life partner, if that's the case for you, it doesn't necessarily mean you have a feud and you're like, no, something better.
Well, a different scenario.
A different scenario, a different a different relating, a different flavor.
Yeah.
Or that person that you're with doesn't have to satisfy all of your needs, right? Like maybe...
Are you kidding me?
Maybe I want to go have coffee with some of my girlfriends and talk about stuff, right? Tristan isn't interested in everything that I like. He like glazes over when I talk about makeup.
I do glaze over that.
Or some of the workout videos that I like to watch. He's like, it's not his cup of tea. And when he looks at some of the martial arts stuff, I'm like, well, I can be here with you, but it's not doing it for me.
I can get her to watch a fight.
Yeah.
She likes it now.
Because I look at it from the athleticism. I had to switch my viewpoint.
Right. So true. So,
do you guys get this? What are they saying?
I love, Devin said the blame game is an energy blocker. That's exactly beautiful. It, right? Because as soon as you get into that, you said this and you should do that, and right? Oh man, I used to play this one. I'm so good at it, right? And I could tear them apart and all the things, and then she'd have to listen to it, and then all my energy is so funked up. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about, because sometimes it's just not fair, right? But the more you say that, the more you're wrestling with that and tweaking your energy.
Right? It's like, I did all of this, and you did this. It's not fair.
I'm going to go down a little. Look at that. It's just a touch of a button. So it's the key, and this is the master key. This is the key to everything, is to own your energy. And I have noticed that when someone does something wonky, I get to upgrade. That's the catalyst, right? So I have to do some work on myself. I have to, look at my involvement, but I'm not interested anymore in getting in a fight with the messenger. I want to hear the message from the universe, using them or this situation to deliver me an upgrade. That removes them from the equation, puts all the power back on me. Now, a part of me is looking at them going, well, too bad for you, because in my world, that doesn't feel good. But maybe if you feel good doing that, all the power to you. You go and live your bliss. I'm going to live my bliss. I've had somebody do some funky stuff that I thought was really funky. I had to do a lot of processing to get through it. And I finally got myself empowered. And later I found out they had so much regret and so much, not resentment per se, but they felt really bad about what they did. And it sucked the life out of them for a while. It was one of their biggest regrets. I think it may still be. And you know what? They've got to work on that. That's on them. But what's on us is how we're leaning in and learning and hopefully loving. So in this case, can you send love to that person?
Oh, absolutely. I was just laughing because you said messenger. It's like sometimes you can feel that the person you're in conflict with delivers the mess, but that doesn't mean they're the messenger.
Right.
Right? The messenger, it's
came
up
through.
to you.
That's true.
The mess delivers you seeking the message. For me, I'm so excited, honestly, about going through this thing recently because I saw how attached I was, and I actually was counting on it for some happiness. I was counting on it for some
Put it outside ourselves.
progression with something. I was counting on it in a way to validate something that I wanted to prove I was good at. So by not having it, I got to see how I had put things in the basket that had no business in that basket. And that's the only reason I had that reaction. Otherwise, it would just be, okay, that's fine, right? It's like you're selling Girl Scout cookies. You go to a house, you want to buy the cookies? No. You want to buy the cookies? Yes. It doesn't really have anything to do with you. It's just, do they want the cookies or not? But it's when we take things personally. And
yeah.
That's why it's more challenging with friends where we love them and we value them and we've been through so much with them to have to go through something like this, or with family, or with a business partner, because for us our business partners become friends and family.
They're extensions of that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think everything is our spiritual practice. Everything is an opportunity to evolve, right? And so what we chose to do was to start putting out the energy of, wow, I wonder what's in store. Step number 3, right? It's either yes, boom, and it lines up, or it's yes, but not quite yet. A little timing needs to work through, a little incubation maybe. Number 3, no, there's something better. There's something else in store for you. And we were like, oh, I wonder what else the universe is lining up for us.
And if you can get into that place, if you can get into that place where you don't hear the disappointment, you always hear something better. Well, first of all, your life is just joy. You are expecting miracles, and when you expect miracles, you see them. You actually notice them, and it kind of happened. So this thing fell through, and then I got a text from someone, hey, do you want to do this thing with me? And do you want to participate in this way that I haven't? But that happened right away.
As soon as we chose to stop pointing fingers. Have you ever heard this one when you're pointing a finger at someone? Hey, watch out, you got 3 pointing right back at you. So be mindful of that. As soon as we shifted that, you got that call. You had that opportunity to do that really fun webinar. That caused a momentum, and it got me to break out the whiteboard, and I started doing all this stuff. And what happened was I thought, well, we've got to get creative. Let's get creative and figure out what we're going to do. But when you get creative, you can unlock creativity. All of these ideas and opportunities start pouring through us. And all you needed to tap that was a little bit of friction, a little catalyst. So indirectly, you don't want to be like, hey, bring conflict into my life and contrast so that I can evolve. But when it does, it can be the thing that unlocks you.
Yep. When you know what you don't want, you can get way more clear on what you do want. Totally. Which, let's just chat about the whiteboard for a moment.
Okay, you don't have much time.
Okay. When Tristan said he brought out the whiteboard, what did you imagine? Did you imagine like a piece of paper? You know, one of those little travel whiteboards? Because we have one of those.
Nope.
Did you imagine like something maybe like 3 feet by 4 feet that you bring out? Because that's what I would hopefully imagine. No. When he says bring out the whiteboard, he wheeled in a, what do you think it is, 10-foot by 7-foot flippable whiteboard that's now as big as our whole TV room.
I wish I had one to show you guys. I thought I had a...
And it is so much creativity on both sides of it. And you're so happy about this whiteboard.
I love it because I can take all my thoughts and I can take them out of my head and I can put them onto this...
For me to look at.
...canvas. And I can move them around and I can organize my thoughts and I can create flow. It's what I love.
It's a possibility board.
It is. Isn't it? I love structure. For me, it creates safety. It creates a feeling of relaxation. And what ends up happening is ideas start to crystallize and they line up. And it's how we, in the backbone, if you will, of a lot of our programs, although Sabrina is like, makes them always so amazing. And what's the user experience going to be like and all this really cool stuff. Don't know. Oh, there go those numbers on the screen. That's some weird stuff that comes on every now and then. Just think of that as just a delight.
When we hit the quantum level, those numbers come on
just
sometimes.
Fly on the screen.
It's a blessing.
But anyway, all of our programs have a lot of structure to them, and that helps people, I think, go through them and feel very relaxed and organized and learn quickly. Okay. So
what we're really talking about is when you have
a lot of people want one. They want a big giant whiteboard. I love you, Kim. I love Kim, and I love Joe. And
you better have a big door.
And I love Madeline.
We can't even get this thing in the door.
Ruth, Devin, you guys get it, right?
It's huge, guys.
No, it's really good.
It's really huge.
It's awesome. It's huge.
So it's so much more than reframing, because it's an emotion, right? Because everything is about how you feel about it. So we're talking about having conflict, and we're really not talking about conflict and resolution, where the two people who are fighting have to talk it out.
I mean, that stuff happens.
But ultimately,
right? In a relationship,
the fight is within, the battle is within, the feud is within. It's for me to find out what am I fighting within myself, and if I can shift into everything is intuition and a blessing leading me to exactly where I need to be and who I need to be with, not as a victim, not as a martyr. And it's totally okay to say, wait a minute, wasn't our agreement XYZ?
I think that's important.
That's fine too. You can have a discussion, you can have clarity without it becoming a feud or a victim or I think there's something in me, I was going to say in humans, that when the person does something, I'll say wrong to me, they lie, they manipulate, they twist the truth, in my opinion, I'd be okay if they just admitted it, right? Like I want them to do a YouTube video where they go, I'm a liar. I twist the truth. I say I'll do things that I want. And if they did that, I'd be okay. But that doesn't happen.
Not going to happen.
So that's my thing, is that I have to embrace and love that person and know that when I don't tell the whole truth and when I twist, it's always coming from a fear. I'm jealous, I'm competitive, I think I'm enough, I'm in scarcity, I don't believe in abundance. There's something in me that isn't being beautiful. And can I have compassion for the person that seems to be doing the action that isn't right? And I do not have to say that it's right action, but I can love anyway and know that it's always a blessing to me to go a different way.
And I love that Wendy said you can have a contract. And contracts are awesome. And I think they're important, especially in business. And we have contracts with most of the people that we work with because that's just the nature of business and people, right? Stuff happens. But ultimately, I wouldn't have wanted to move forward with this person even if we had a contract.
No.
But I can so appreciate what you're saying. It's really smart, right? But energetically, since this conversation is mostly about that, I would have rather torn that contract up because I don't want to be connected to that energy. I don't want to be in that relationship where somebody, in my estimation, we're really trying to own our own take on this, right, is deceitful, you know? And so
I'm going to thank you so much because it's showing us that we want to have a different path.
I had one final thought on this that I told Sabrina when it was going on. I said, you know, it's going to be hard for me to not, it's not going to be hard. It's going to be interesting if somebody asks me about working with this person. I am going to have to share my experience, and that's not going to help them per se. Not that I have an agenda. I don't want to do that. But if you know that somebody's a bad person, right, or does bad stuff, for me, as a protector and lover of people, I will share what I know to protect them.
But it might not even be bad stuff, right? It could be something like, hey, I'm thinking about hiring this Zumba teacher what do you think? Oh, well, I've worked with her, and she teaches a really good class, but she usually shows up about 5 to 7 minutes late, which sometimes the students don't care for. So, that's going to be the only thing you have to deal with. So it's not bad. It's just saying this is kind of what that person did when they worked for me.
I don't know what anyone needs, but I do know that what we put out comes back. And so hopefully for all of us, we're very mindful. Uh-oh. Come on. There we go. We're mindful of what we're putting out because it is coming back to us. So try to make the most conscious, loving decisions and therefore actions that you can. Try not to come from a place of fear or scarcity or manipulation. Always check in and ask, what's the most loving, highest choice I can make? Because there are ramifications for our actions. Things do come back to us. So I know that I'm just going to send love because that's who I am, what I am, and that's all I'm asking the universe to return to me. I even spoke about another person who had done some weird, funky stuff. Just on the phone the other day, someone asked me about them. And you know what? I shared all the beautiful things about them that I love about them because that's the vibration. Here's the final landing thought for me that I want to pull out of them. Yeah. I don't want someone to be in fear or scarcity. Even this person, I want them to choose love in their next business partnership and choose the highest path for them. Maybe they have already, and that's awesome for them. Great. Yeah. I'm choosing mine. All right, my dear.
And to know that we are also multifaceted, like in the person that we're speaking a lot about tonight, which thank you so much for giving us a topic for a True Sabrina show. Eight parts of the person are amazing. Yeah. Right? And to focus on what you love, focus on the beauty, even in the moment that you're choosing something different. Because what we focus on expands, and see what's beautiful in everyone. You can be aware of what is in contrast with what you want, because that's just smart. And when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And I think that relationships with family, with friends, and business partners, when you are seeing the beauty and knowing that everything that happens, the contract that you have is with yourself, and the contract you have is with God, that everything that happens to me is exactly what I need to move forward. Everything that happens to me is exactly what I need to be the best version of myself. Everything that happens to me is what I need to grow more as a soul. Then you can never blame another person, because everything is a gift and a blessing, and your reaction to it is really the gift, because that's what's going to change you.
Just sharing some of the beautiful, sweet things you all are saying onto the screen here. And we're going to be reading them and loving them all over our date night, where we're heading out in just a moment. We get to share about how beautiful all of you are. The level of consciousness and love and beauty that you all pour into this tribe is amazing. And we are so appreciative that you come to these shows or watch them later. I know people tell us, I can't wait to see the replay. And we really appreciate you being in our lives. And it's so much fun. We so look forward to Thursdays getting to do this with you. So we're going to keep them coming.
Tonight, we're going to head out to, there's a street in Austin. It's called South Congress. And sort of an older street that maybe 10 years ago it's like not the good part of town, but you know how things change. And now it's like really hip, and the real estate price has gone up, and there's a little South Congress hotel that has a restaurant called
really suave
Cafe Noce, and they have a lot of good vegetables, and it's kind of trendy. And it's right across the street from Kendra Scott's main store. Do you guys know Kendra Scott Jewelry?
This is where I might fall asleep a little. No, I'm kidding. They're beautiful. I get to shop there for Sabrina. All right. Thanks,
and when you
everybody.
come to Austin, maybe we can go walk down South
Can you
Congress.
tell everyone about November?
Yes, we are going to have an event. We're going to have a live event here in Austin. It's going to be mid-November. It's going to be the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's right around November 15th. We are just finishing negotiations with the hotel.
There'll be a contract.
What's really cool about this contract with the hotel is that every single room has a kitchen. Like,
so cool.
Has a refrigerator,
and that will be the highlight of the event.
Top. Because as a lady, don't you just love that? And the hotel has like a laundry room, and I just can't believe how technology is. They're like, oh yeah, and if your guests want to leave us a grocery list as they head out, we'll absorb the Amazon Prime and we'll order their groceries and put it in their refrigerator. I'm like, wow.
Our event is called the Big Life Breakthrough, and it's all about getting your energy into flow. We move together, we qigong, we meditate, we eat healthy, we laugh, we have so much fun. We do all kinds of exercises to have incredible life breakthroughs, and we bond together. It's just amazing. Dinners and all kinds of fun.
We'll probably have some type of business for coaches, teachers, and healers on the front end, and on the back end, like a VIP option where we help just a couple of people really deep dive with their business. And then on the back end, have more of a group business. We'll be doing pieces and helping people with the Happy Healthy Back curriculum.
We'll probably have a day in the dojo, the physical dojo here in Austin, where we can do movement arts together.
Qigong strong.
Yeah, we're going to just have a great time. We've done many of these events, and many of you have been here and been with us. We'll take you to a place called Ninja Turtle Dojo, where we do our morning classes that we stream. So there's a lot that happens. Austin is an incredibly awesome city.
And we picked mid-November, just
Great
so
weather.
you know, because Austin has so many weddings in October and South by, and then Formula One races are here. So it's very crowded and the prices are really high.
Yeah.
And then like November 10th, whoosh, they go down.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, we'll
really
do ours
good
November
rates
15th.
for everything.
And the
really
weather, it's such nice weather. It should be probably mid-70s the whole time.
Yay! All right. See you all later.
More on that.
Yeah, coming soon. Much love.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.